Hello, and welcome to MemoryMixer's Design Studio. I am so glad you have joined us. Today, I'm going to show you how to safely resize your photos. Now, what do I mean safely? I am speaking about skewing, so your photos maintain the correct positioning or proportion. So, I have got a layout here that we'll be working with. And I just love this kit from Laura Berger. Actually, I'm using two different kits. One is Life Changes and the other is Strong Enough. So both of those just combine so nicely together. So let's go ahead and drag a photo on that we want to use. So I just want to use this journaling box more as a photo background, if you will, or matting. So I'm just kind of positioning my photo the way I want it. And that seems to work okay. It's kind of a rectangular shape, and so I would be fine with that one. But if I wanted to use the same photo in this shape, it would be a little trickier. So I'm going to go ahead and drag it over, and I'm going to resize it. And I find that if I resize smaller than I want to go originally, then I can position and I can see, okay, this is how much bigger I want it to go. So I know I want to make it just a little bit taller, so I can go ahead and drag. Now this is the tricky part. Some may be tempted to drag from the bottom here to make it taller. But now as you see, their faces are just a little bit longer. You may even be tempted to drag it from the side so you can position it just perfectly in that box. And yes, it does fit perfectly in the box, but look at those cute little skinny long faces now. So you can see the difference by resizing if you do it from the sides. If I were to resize from the corners and drag out, you see it stays proportional. That makes your photos maintain the proportional quality and your photos won't be skewed. So the big thing is to remember to drag from the corners and not from the sides or the top and bottom. Now there is one other way that makes this very simple also, and that is to use photo boxes. And that's especially important when you are doing things that might be a circle. And so I went ahead and added these photo boxes, but let me just go ahead and I will delete this one so I can show you just how I did it. So I just clicked on Add a Photo Box. That's under Edit Photo, or you can also find it under Photo Layout. Now what this does is it brings in a box that you can drag and drop your photo into, but it gives you the ability to size that photo box any way you want. So when you bring your photo in, it'll be the right size versus trying to then resize your photo once it's in. So we know we want to have a circle, so I'm just going to go ahead and come down to Photo Shapes. I'll select Circle, say OK, and now I'm going to bring it over and just kind of position it close. It's too big, so I'm going to go ahead and make it a little smaller. And it still looks a little bit too big, so I'll make it smaller again. And if you notice, I drag it in from the corners, so I will still maintain the perfect circle. And now I can just use my computer arrow keys, and I can go ahead and reposition. Went just a little too far. So I can reposition my photo box to the space I want it. And then it's easy. All you have to do is drag and drop your photo, and you know it's going to be taking the right shape and size. And I'm going to go ahead and drag this one in here. Now, if you have version 4, you're able to drag through a frame. If you're still working on version 3, you might look at version 4. It is so much easier to be able to just drag and drop right inside of a photo box, or right inside of a photo box, even if it is behind a frame, rather than relayering everything. But you can see there's little white showing because that is actually a scanned picture. So I'm going to actually first click on it, and then I want to zoom in just a little so I got rid of the white frame. And you can see now it is layered behind this frame here. And now I'm going to double click on it and it opens up my crop window. And so now I can just position my crop box on the photo how I want. So this allows me to position and size a photo without skewing my photo if I have a specific shape I am working towards. Photo Box makes it a lot easier to resize your photos if you're looking for a specific shape or size. You can resize a photo that you've just dragged on, and just make sure you remember to drag from the corners and not the sides or the top and bottom, because that will skew it. But the corners will keep your photos proportional. Oh, I forgot to mention, I love this kit too. There's actually two kits I've used here, and that's Tammy Miller, and it's Romantic Blush and Something Wonderful. I just love how those embellishments work together. So have fun and happy mixing.